Okay, Assalamualaikum and very good day. Welcome back to MID1093 rapid modeling class. Okay, and for today we will talk about 3D printing. All right. So last week you already watched, I hope you already watched the video regarding about the introduction of rapid prototyping, or what we can call as a 3D printing. There are already discussed and discussed with you guys what is a 3D printing is all about, the basic understanding of 3D printing, how the 3D printers work, the some of the material and whatnot. Okay, and I already briefed you guys on the uh, vlog assignment, which you will talk about your selected 3D printers and technology. Okay, so for today I will talk about process of how we gonna print the model. Okay, so let's recap a little bit. Okay, so what is 3D printing? Is a additive manufacturing, where we are making solid object out of the digital files. Okay, and this object is being created by putting layers over layers of material. Okay, it can be melted filament of PLA or ABS or anything. Okay, and this layer, okay, you can see as a thin slice of horizontal cross. If you see the object or the product that being created by 3D printer, you can see a very thin layer. Okay, um and of course is opposite of subtractive manufacturing, where this process of production is adding up the material instead of cutting out the material. Okay, so I'll not talk about the usage. Okay, we'll skip this technology. Okay, there's a lot of technology out there, but in this class we will use fuse deposition modeling. Okay, produce a model by wax or ABS plastic. All right, and this is very similar to hot glue gun, where you melt the glue rod. Okay, in this case is a polymer filament. Okay, go through the nozzles and it will melt, and then you lay it down on the platform, layer over layer. It will create an object. Okay, the other technology is laminated object manufacturing, LOM. This one is quite old technology, where they use paper. Okay, stacking over paper over paper and cutting the paper using a laser or using a cutter. Okay, and producing an object. All right, and the other one is polyjet, based on liquid based material. Okay, it's a liquid photopolymer and it will harden using UV light. Okay, it's slightly different from SLA, while it's still using the method, but it start and ends over there. The similarity is just there, but the polyjet will take much more, maybe to the higher or better level of SLA. Okay, so you can Google out the what this polyjet is all about. Okay, all right. When we talk about the printer that we will use, okay, and what we have over here is Ultimaker 2 Plus. We have two uh types of unit. Okay, the first one, Ultimaker 2 Plus, and the second one, Ultimaker 2 Extended Plus. Okay, um the different from of this printer is just Ultimaker 2 Extended Plus will have a higher building chamber. Okay, where the basic one will be about 22 centimeter times 22 centimeters, more or less, and 20 centimeters of a height. And the Ultimate Extended will have about 30 centimeter height. All right, So the material that can be used in this Ultimaker, what we call that, Ultimaker printer is PLA, ABS, CPE, CPE plus, PC, nylon, TPU, and whatnot. All of this is a polymer, is a kind of polymer, okay, where they will react to the heat, okay, and this each of these material have different melting temperature, and there's a slight way of treating this all material, okay. But most of the time we will use PLA, we will not use ABS because we don't have a what you call that, cover to the printer, okay. We need to treat ABS is slightly neat or slightly more, right, by or comparing to the PLA. Okay, PLA just strictly much more easier to use, to deal with, not to use, much more easier to deal with. Okay, and the layer resolution for this printer, okay, is about 600 micron or 0.6 mm, up to 20 micron or to 0.02 okay. It's quite fine, I would say. Okay, this model of printer I think come out around 2013 if I'm not mistaken, but that one is Ultimaker 2. Now we have Ultimaker 2 Plus. But currently this company already have Ultimaker S5, which is much more bigger, faster, and can do a lot more than this. This one we consider a very basic printer, but it's very robust, very reliable. Okay. And next, first we need to have a printer. Now we need to have a slicer software. Okay, in order to print, you cannot transfer your 3D file directly to the printer. You need to have a slicer software, where this software will analyze and rebuild your model, your 3D model, and then it will translate to the code that the printer will understand. Okay, so this and this software is developed by the Ultimaker itself. So a lot of printer have their own slicer software. Okay, and Ultimaker have their own software, which is this software Cura. Okay, there's a Ender or MakerBot. They use different kind of software, but at the end it's just a slicer software. Maybe the differences, maybe some software can do better, can do a lot more iteration. Some software is very basic. I would say the Cura used to be very basic software, but now with the latest software, I'm not sure. I just downloaded the latest version, so let's see what happened with the new version. Okay, so the process is, first you need to have a 3D files. Okay, whether you design on your own or you create on your own, or you can download it from the various website, okay, various database that you can find online. And then you need to prepare, or you need to slice in Cura software, and then you can transfer to the printer. Okay, all right, so let's go to the first process, which is the acquiring the 3D data. Okay, whether we want to design or we want to download. All right, so I will close this and I will open up the software over here. All right. Okay, first this is Autodesk Tinkercad. Okay, this is what we call a very basic 3D printing or 3D modeling software to create a 3D model. All right, so let's go to the gallery. Let's see what we have over here. Okay, other than this, we can use 3D Max, Blender, SolidWorks, Rhino, Maya, okay, and we can do all sort of things. But for this class, I will show you guys just a Tinkercad, a very easy, straightforward, free to use, okay, software where you no need to download at all. You just go to the tinkercad.com over here, all right, tinkercad.com, and register yourself. Okay, once you register, it will teach you, or you will follow the lesson over here. Since I already have my fair share in this project, so when I log in, this is my page. This is my landing page, which is the dashboard. Okay. But when you once you sign up or register to this software or website, okay, it's been made by Autodesk, by the way. Okay, you will straight away go to the lesson page where they have a very short tutorial, easy to use, very simple to follow. Okay, how to move, how to rotate, how to size up or group it, how to do view or camera control, anything. A very simple. This one you can follow. I think within just 30 minutes, more or less, you can play around with this software already. Okay, so let's go back to the my dashboard. Okay, so this is one way of you creating the or acquiring the 3D file. So in this case, maybe I just want to make a very simple, straightforward object. Maybe just what we call that, a keychain. All right. So this is the interface of this software. Okay, where over here on the top left you can see the smashing Lahdi. This one is just a random name that being given for this project by the software. You can change the name, okay, like 3D printing intro. Yep, you can do something like this. Okay, or if you don't want, you just leave it there. All right, so the basic of this, just drag and drop. Okay, maybe for this time around I want to use a cylinder. I'll start with a cylinder. The size, I make it what you call that, 50. This one is a 50 mm. Okay, 20, and then the height is maybe just 2 or 3, maybe perhaps 3 mm. And this one, if you can see, is slightly jagged. Okay, because it's section. So bevels, nope, side. Yes, we set the side to be higher, 64 side, so that when you see, okay, oh, yep, okay, it's like it becomes smoother. Compare the one that you have just now, is very section. This, okay, see that? So now make it to the max, so it becomes smoother. Next is perhaps I want to copy this, change, make it a whole. So instead of 50, I make it -2 is 48, and this one is 18. Okay, I will move this slightly upper, 2 mm, and align tape. Okay, something like this. And next is I want to boolean this. And okay, you can, this one not just a tutorial to do this, just the process of doing this. Okay, just you shows very simple, but you can follow or you can do your own your own model or whatnot. Okay, next is to create a hole. This one will be what, 2 mm times 2 mm. Oh, yep, there you go. Put it, align it. Okay, you make it go down so that it will, yep. Okay, and then combine again so that it will create a hole. There you go. Okay, and what, yes, the font. Okay, since this is a keychain, just put my name. Should I put my name? Okay, G-Bob. Oh, I haven't changed that. G-B-U. Oh my. G-B-U-M. Alright. And we have several font over here. We have sans serif. Oh, we have sans mono. We have serif. We don't have a lot of choice over here, but is for me it's good enough for this purpose. Okay, just scale it up and okay. Let me remind you guys that this color doesn't mean anything in the 3D printing, because the 3D printer only have whatever color that our material have. So there's nothing much over here, or maybe just two. The height is just 2 mm. All right. Okay, so doesn't matter what color you have, you can only print with whatever material color that you have. Okay. Um, Once you're done and satisfied like this, okay, you can export. Okay, export the file. You have the option of obj.stl. Oh, and we have new, so what we call that, new format, gltf or .glb. I don't know what it is. No, most of the time we use .stl file or .obj. Doesn't matter. But I believe most of the time, Mac user or Apple user will deal of a lot of .obj file. Windows is .stl. It's not. It's just my preference. Okay, it's not. It's my opinion. It's not out there. I'm not sure, but from my observation and what I come across, okay, like Mayam, perhaps they use .obj, and other software, some they can save it as STL. So in this case, I just use STL, and it will automatically download the files. Okay, and over here we can go to the Cura. Okay, I leave it at this point. Stop here, and we go to another software. Okay. So over here, your 3D file is ready. Okay, so that's one way of acquiring the 3D model. Okay, or 3D file. All right. Okay, next we have Automaker Cura. Okay, so once you install the software, okay, you can download it for free from here. Okay, you just go to Automaker Cura and download for free. So before that, just want to talk about the printer. Over here there's a online purchasing software, online shopping software, where you can go for and look for 3D printer out there. So we have a lot of 3D printer. It can be, like I said previously, can be as cheap as 900. It can be as cheap as 600. Okay, and this one is FDM technology. Okay, but I think most of it is around circling around, hovering around 1000 plus, okay, to 2000. And it's depend on the quality of the build, depend on the company, depend on the process. Okay, this one is I think SLA. Okay, now we have a cheap SLA printer. Last time it will be much more expensive. Okay, but in our class we will use Ultimaker. Okay, maybe the famous out there, I think, is an Ender 3, for the prosumer player out there. Okay, most of the 3D printer enthusiasts that I met out there, they use Ender because it's kind of cheap. Okay, I'm not sure whether you need to assemble, or they already come like this. Okay, last time when they sell it, they come pre-assembled, so you need to assemble by yourself. I'm not sure now how it be. Okay, yep, I think you need to assemble on your own. See, so it depends. All right, so this is the 3D printer, and the PLA for our class we will use 2.85 PLA. Okay, normal printer use 1.75. We use 2.85. Okay, and this is the cheapest we can have, about 75 ringgit, or I think about 50. Some sell it as low as 55, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, this one sell by Pebble Reka. Polymaker Polytera is the latest PLA that Polymaker come out. Last time they have a standard PLA, will sell about 140 to 150 ringgit. Now they come with much more cheaper selection, much more cheaper option of PLA, and because you just 75 ringgit per kg, it's quite a lot. Okay, all right. So let's go back to the software. Okay, once you download the Ultimaker Cora, this is your landing page for the first time. Okay, this is the latest version, is 4.11, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, I haven't seen what is the new thing, but let's go. Get started. Once you register, or sorry, once you download and install, this is what you face. So get started. Disclaimer. Read this disclaimer, yada yada yada, and you have agree. Of course, you need to agree in order to use this software. Right? How to improve? Next. Okay, sign up or sign in if you have an account, or just skip. Okay, add printer. For this one, we don't have network. Okay, our printer is not connected by network, so add non-network printer. Okay, these are the list of Ultimaker. Since this is add or software for Ultimaker printer, they already have the list of printer that can be used. Okay, so different printer have different size of build plate, building area and whatnot, the heating nozzle, everything. Okay, you can just simply click and next. Okay, for in this case I use as Ultimaker 2 Plus extended. Okay, if you have another printer, you can go for custom, where They have already list out several other printer. I think quite a lot. Okay, a brand of a company. Okay, where by clicking this, you can straight away have their own setting. All right. What else? Okay, even in 3D Maker, see there's a other printer down there. There's already list out. Okay, so maybe you have your own printer, then you need to uh, look out for this. Okay. Uh, Go back to the Ultimaker. 2 plus extended, yeah. We have 2 plus extended and 2 plus. We don't have 2 plus connect. 2 plus extended and click next. Okay, what's new? You can look out. Okay, they have a new interfaces, library integration, smooth top surface modern. Okay, all of this is new features. Okay, finish. All right. So over here, using your mouse and your shift button, okay, uh, right click button, okay, you can drag. This one you need to click shift and right click. If you leave out the shift, you can turn. Okay, and this is the build plate of the printer. Okay, the blue line here is the border of your printer. You cannot go beyond that. Okay, this is where you build your own model, or not build, you print. Okay, you cannot go beyond that. Okay, so this is where you add the file. Okay, you download the file. So let's go to the download just now, 3D printing demo. Okay, and open. So there you go. Once you open, it will straight away position your model over here at the dead center. All right. So next is, this is your printer. You can add, this is where you want to add your printer or change your printer. This is your generic, this is where you choose your material. Okay, over here I use PLA. Okay, generic material. We have ABS, PLA, TPU, everything. We have another much more detail like ABS, what. Okay, but for here, for the time being, we just use a very basic nozzles. Okay, the basic or standard setup for nozzle on Ultimaker is 0.4. Okay, they give us another 3 choices, 0.25, 0.6, and 0.8. This one, you need to change it at the printer. So you need to make sure that your print, what size of your printer nozzle. Okay, by default is 0.4, and I remember our printer, we used to use 0.6, but now we go back to 0.4 for much more refined layer height. Okay, so leave it 0.4. Okay, this is printer setting, where you want to change the what you call that, the physical of your model. Okay, it's not mean you can change the shape, whatnot. You still can change the height, the thickness, the size, but that's about it. You cannot add any other object. I'm not sure in this what you call that, in this version. I think it's still like that. Okay, so the layer height, or the profile. Okay, this one, if you want to make it normal setting, it will be 0.1 mm, and the infill is 20%. The infill is the density inside it. Okay, this is the height of the layer, okay, the thickness of the layer of one fine layer, okay. I show you after this. So I think the most important thing is just this very basic, which is the profile, which is the layer height. Okay, you want to use 0.1 or 0.15. Okay, um, the infill normally I go for 10%. 100% means that it's a solid full of filament. I don't want that. Support, okay, doing this model can, okay, as because this one is a solid model, okay, solid and flat, so we don't need a support. I'll talk about support later on in when we deal with the printer, okay. But easy said that our object, okay, cannot be printed on in the middle of the air, so you need to have, for example, if I want to do this, Control C, Control V. Okay. If I want to hover this, see, it will go straight down there. Okay. It will always form place at the plate. It cannot go up. But if I want to print something hovering like this, okay, it's supposed to have a structure. You cannot, they need to start to print from the bottom. So if your model have something curved like this, they need to have something or a structure that support this curve. Okay, they cannot be like this. All right, maybe I show in other model in the future. Okay, so here we don't need to have a support. Addition, okay. Addition is where you want to add some extra material or extra print to make sure that your object stuck, okay, nicely on the bed plate. Okay, so since we deal with a polymer, we react to the heat. Okay, some of the PLA come with not proper mixture, so while it's being printed, this model can slightly move, can slightly bend, and the adhesion here will help it to stick to the bed plate throughout the printing process. So I believe in this, since we are only dealing with a very simple and straightforward object like this, we are no need to use adhesion. This one, if you have a very small contact with with this surface, or you have a very huge object and high and quite a tall object. Okay, this one is very short. Okay, if you want to print something higher like this, I believe you need to have extra addition to make sure the object will still stuck and stay at the bed plate. Because if it move, your model will be ruined. You need to start to reprint again. So for this one, I move slightly to close to the entrance like this. This is the entrance. Disable the addition. Okay. So if you notice, if I enable, this is the border that I cannot go beyond. If I go beyond this, see, it become like this. It means that it cannot be printed. So I need to move slightly inside. It's become like this, yellow. Then it can be printed. Okay, slightly inside like this. Okay, so next is okay, if you notice, once I click this model, you can see I get, okay, this what we call that, toolbar is activated. Okay, so this where you can move. This is a function, move function, where actually you can move freely like this, or you can key in. For example, if I key in 0, 0, 0, it will back to this origin. Okay, So if you want to move, either you want to use this arrow or you can key in the number over here. Next is to scale. Okay, this is 100%. And we have snap scaling where it will snap to a certain number, and uniform scaling where if you adjust one variable, the rest will be uh, follow. Okay, like for example, if I make this keychain thicker, it will become bigger. If I want to make it wider, it also become thicker and longer. Okay, so if you don't want to do that, okay, and you make it you uncheck the uniform scaling, you can move this. See, it become thickness like this, right? So I don't want this, go back, okay, reset. Or you want to adjust by using percent over here, you can use, okay, or you can adjust based on the actual sizing. Okay, 50 mm become 100 and enter. See, become longer. If Z, I put it as a 50 mm, so become thicker. So I don't want this. Reset, so it goes back to the original. So this one is mirror to, okay, to mirroring your model. This one model setting. Oh, this one is new. I will check it out later on. This one. And another support blocker. Okay, this one, another features that I don't see before. Okay, but we will explore, or you can explore it on your own. Okay, so once you're satisfied with this, okay, over here we go back to this setting. I don't want to make it norm. If you use a default 0.1, of course the printout will become okay, but what you call that, the the time consumed will be much more longer. So for example, is 0.1, let's try to slice here, okay, at the bottom right, means that this software will try to slice this object and rebuild to recalculate how long it will print and how much it will use. Okay, for example, in this case, it's 37 minutes of printing and require about 2 grams and 0.35 meter of filament. Okay, and to preview, this is the length. Okay, this is the actual what you can see in the printer later on. You can see all those lines over here. Okay, when I click addition, this is what I mean, extra material to print, and I don't want that. So later on I will uncheck this. And this is the uh, travel of the each of this material. Okay, I don't want that. I mean, I want to make it faster. Okay, and I want to make it, okay, fill, disable, and slice again. And there you go. Only like this, it will show like this. Okay, so this is when you zoom in and see the model, but by naked eyes you cannot see actual like this, but you can still see the line that will be created later on. So by doing this, just now, more than 30 minutes, now is only 60 minutes. I think it's fair. Okay, of course, if you want to make it faster, you can always tinker by using custom. Okay, custom setting where you have a lot more settings or variable that can be play around. So most of the time I didn't tinker with this. Okay, just go for the recommendation. Unless I want to make it faster, I don't have enough time, so I start to tinkering on the custom setting. Okay, the quality wise, okay, the layer height and whatnot, walls, the thickness, and the rest. Okay, all right. So I satisfied with this. So I save to this. Okay, go to the desktop, 3D printing intro. Okay, keychain. Just put a keychain or gbum keychain, gbum keychain, like this, and save. And now you need to transfer this file to your SD card. Okay, so now until now, that's it. This is how you slice the 3D model that you create or you acquired prior to this. Okay, so I will continue with the 3D printer video. Thank you.